Call this meeting to order. It's a special meeting on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. Again, I'm going to rely on Jackie to lead the flag salute since I do not have a flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jackie.
You're welcome.
So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to go old business. We're going to revisit the preliminary plat decision for Tuscany and Boardman Phase 3. It was discussed on our last regular commission meeting on last Wednesday. And Barry's going to go through, I think, and go through some discussions he's had with the developer, but just a little bit of summary. We had a public hearing. We had a quorum when we commenced the public hearing. A commissioner had internet issues and we lost our quorum. So we took a consensus and we closed the public hearing and continued the meeting to follow up tonight's special meeting with deliberation from commissioners and hopefully get a decision. A little summary on discussion during that meeting was not a lot of issues with the plat. What there was brought up was the necessity for being the last phase of this development to enforce the comprehensive plan requirement of green space. And I'll let Barry chime in there because I think the developers came to a fairly good conclusion of where to put that.
Okay, Jackie, can you put that map up? As you can see at the bottom of the page, the crosshatched area is Phase 3. The crosshatched in red is the park. And the yellow streak that you see going up is a pathway to the schools, both Windy River and Sam Boardman. It's right on the property line for those two schools. And they'll put a gate in and it will basically drain Sage Street and Tiber Court and Tiber Drive, I think it is. Tiber Street. And it's right at a ½ acre in size, which is a little smaller, but because it fits so well with being able to get pet access of the kids to the schools from that subdivision without having to go up and be on Wilson Road and so on and so forth. It seems like a real good, that was the lots that I was thinking about when Taylor Merrill said last meeting on Wednesday night that they were willing to do that. And he'd been on the phone with me 2 or 3 times and sent me this like on Friday of last week. And when I looked at it, I was going like, that's just exactly where it needed to be. And it's right in the center of the park or of the subdivision. And they're willing to put a couple of benches or table or and the doggy cleanup station and so on and so forth, because it's going to be, that's my only concern is that people pick up their dog waste. But like I said, it's right at a ½ acre. It takes up 2 lots. And they're going to put turf and some trees, not a whole lot of trees, but some trees, because they're envisioning more like the pocket park that we have just before you get to the railroad tracks on Main Street. And that when we redirected where the bridge was, and we ended up with about the same amount of ground as what that one is with this. And the kids play on that the kids from the apartment complexes there. I'll go over there and play all the time. So
I think it's a great spot, Barry. It looks to me like the way the roads are situated and with the lot configuration, from a safety aspect, where kids, where parents want to be able to see where their kids are playing, if they're a little bit older kids or not. I mean, you can see that location from, I think, 9 different lots. So that is awesome.
And a policeman lives across the street.
Yeah.
Kyle and Shelby Piercy live in that one on the right.
Okay.
So my recommendation would be to approve it in its current format.
I'll make a motion to approve it as is, as drawn.
So I think we don't have lot numbers for those two, do we, Barry?
Oh, I could get them. Well, not yet because they haven't been recorded.
Okay. So I think the motion, Adam, should, let me see here. So maybe the motion should say for conditions of approval, 1, to go through the standard. We don't even have a site team on this one, do we, Barry? Because this isn't the development application. This is just a partition application.
No, subdivision, we usually run through site team, but trying to do site team has been a little on the difficult side. So I end up sending drawings to them, and if I get comments back, then those are incorporated into the staff report. And I have had several conversations with Taylor Merrill since, and the fact that when I walked away from the meeting last Wednesday, I was thinking of those 2 lots in particular, and I hadn't conveyed that to him. And when he sent it to me on Friday, I was like, all right, right where we wanted to stick it.
All right, so you don't think a site team is necessary, Barry? Is that what you're saying?
No, because we've been through the first 2, all of the standards are basically going to be the same with, and they've got the contractors have gotten it down to where they are accustomed to doing it in the fashion of the first 2 subdivisions. So, and I've seen it enough, and there are no real concerns from Umatilla Electric or the gas company, because they're all getting in there.
Okay. So I guess, Adam, I think the motion should probably be tailored to approve subdivision as drawn, with the condition to turn the 2 lots in yellow, in the amended subdivision highlighted in yellow as provided in the packet, to be turned into green space per comprehensive plan requirements.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision with the condition of the 2 plots in yellow to be turned into green space for park. And what else, Jacob?
I think that pretty much covers it. I guess that in addition to the developer, are we requiring the developer to turn that over to city maintenance, Barry?
They will dedicate it, or they will have it run by the homeowners association.
Okay, so we'll leave that up to the city on that one.
Yep.
Do we need to include that they're going to put a dog waste station and those specifics, or is that okay? Just.
I think as is, the only thing I might throw in is it's the first two lots south of Lucas Street.
Okay, so with the approval of the first two lots south of Lucas with all the amenities of a park. Will you get that, Jackie?
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
I got it.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Cole to approve the subdivision with condition as stated to include the two lots as green space. A seconded by Ragna. I don't think we need to roll call. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Nay, same sign. Motion carries unanimously.
I will get the notice of decision out tomorrow. We didn't have any comments, so there's nobody to establish standing for appealing the decision. Okay. So
I guess last thing, discussion item. Did you want to go through something on Chapter 8 in the comprehensive plan, Barry?
I just wanted to point it out, and I put the policy future parkland development standards, basically number 1, 2, then 3 and 4, and we don't have a method of taking payments for parks, and that would fluctuate greatly depending on how much a lot goes for. I talked with a couple of the realtors, bare lot with all the utilities put in of 8,000 square feet, going for $50,000 to $55,000 right now. So, you know,
so if they don't want to dedicate the park, they'll have to pay taxes on the property.
We don't have a method of doing that though, Adam.
Oh, okay. Because it says make a payment in lieu of dedication based on current residential land value.
Right. They can, and that would have been about $100,000 that we would have been asking, because that's about what those two lots, the development is.
Wow. Okay.
But this is, and if they dedicate it to the city, it's like dedicating $100,000, because they're perfectly capable of having houses on them.
I think that's an interesting concept, and it's something that something of the comprehensive plan I wasn't aware of, and that's really good conversation for these developers. When they come around and they argue, or not argue, but they question the need for green space, that's a lot easier conversation to say, well, there's green space, or you can write a check for $100,000. Well, that's a good conversation starter. So,
and I think we need to take that particular element and try to put it in the changes that we're going to be making to the development code.
Okay.
I mean, it's because it calls for 0.015 of an acre, which is 654 square feet.
And is that per lot?
This per lots in the subdivision. And it really came to mind with this one because there would be no land to dedicate for park if we approved it in the manner that they originally submitted it. Now, let's take the Chaparral Park. There's a whole bunch of land that you're not going to be able to build on because it's under the BPA easements, and that will work for a park.
Okay. I think maybe that standard needs to be changed a little bit, Barry.
Well, I think it needs to be put into the development code, so because most people are not going to go look at the comprehensive plan.
And maybe instead of having, well, I think the minimum per lot is good, but in addition to have a minimum size of park, and then you go whichever is larger, you know, type of code.
Right, and that's why I think this has been a good discussion, because okay, how do we structure that? Because yeah, I think it's a great idea, but there's a whole lot of questions that I have in terms of, okay, do we want slightly larger parks? I mean, let's take the lot that City Hall is on. It's about, I'm going to say about 3 acres, maybe just a shade over that. And we've got kids in the playground. There was, I'll bet you 30 kids out there playing this afternoon when it got up around 60.
Wow. Okay, well, I don't think we should take anybody else's time on a special meeting, and unless anyone has anything else good for discussion, I'll go ahead and adjourn. Meeting adjourned. Thank
you all.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you.